talking about Obama and his militarization, expanded militarization, both in Africa and the Middle East. We'd like to welcome Johnny Achi from the Arab Americans for Syria to give us an update on the recent expose of the United States having covert war going on in support of the rebels in Syria going back at least 2 years, as well as the French Foreign Minister Roland Dumas talking about how the British, I guess together with the United States, have been planning this for many years before the actual physical rebels made the assault against the government of Syria. Johnny, welcome to KPFK.
Hello, Leda. I'm glad to be on your show again. Thanks for having me. That was a video that was released yesterday by the French ex-foreign minister from the previous administration, talking about how the plans was and how they've been arming and preparing for this for many years. We've talked about this on your show many times. The difference between the covert war that the CIA has been carrying on for some time now. We know that the Obama administration, through the CIA, has been, the New York Times actually broke the story about 8 months ago. The Obama administration has, through the CIA, been illegally trafficking thousands of tons of guns and weapons to the rebels from the dictatorships of Saudi Arabia and Qatar. This is no longer a secret. This is everybody agrees on. Although the media did not, point to it, and it insisted that Obama is still trying to help the rebels with non-lethal weapons. A meaningless term. Everybody who knows the war setting, and any war setting, especially in Syria today, they know that any military assistance is in the business of killing. There's no such thing as a non-lethal. But this has been going on for some time now. Today, or last week, when the White House finally decided or announced that covert military aid to the Syrian rebels will be directly now, we moved from a covert CIA to overt direct assistance to the rebels. Now, this marks a shift, really a major shift in the U.S.-led war on terrorism, as Obama followed the Bush's global war on terrorism has been taking place. We feel that the backing of this coalition of groups that includes al-Qaeda, part of the rebels, the Nusra Front, which is part of al-Qaeda, this is a direct aid to terrorist rebels, mercenaries who have come from all over the world to fight a war in Syria by proxy on behalf of the United States. Again, I mean, we talk about the U.S. media burying the truth. Today, John Kerry is in Doha for another Friends of Syria meeting after the G8 meeting. Now, the good thing about the G8 being 8 countries, 7 of them pretty much, waging the war on Syria versus Russia. Vladimir Putin held his own, honestly, and the final statement about Syria was very, very simple, very direct. The only solution for Syria is a political solution and not a military one. That was the final statement. There was nothing about Assad having to leave. There's nothing, no mention of chemical weapons that we know it's a pretext for invasion. So the G8 said, we got to go on with Geneva too. Let's try and push both parties to come to the table. Syria has agreed the next day immediately to the G8 final statement about political solutions to the problem, just like they accepted the Geneva one last June, just like they accepted every United Nations and Arab League propositions in the past. Now the problem is, Idan, the opposition refuses the Geneva 2, just like they refused the Geneva 1. So what do? They go, Kerry today makes a statement. After he says the only solution for Syria is a political solution, not a military one, he makes a contradicting statement. And I heard it just an hour ago in his press conference. He says it seems that way, the only way to get to peace talks is through arming the rebels. I don't understand this. I mean, I understand what he means, but the point is, you cannot say, we want to go to a peace solution, not a military one, yet we feel that the only way we can go to peace talks is through arming the rebels. I think what he's trying to say is what we talked about that last week on your show, is that to go to peace talks, you got to have something on the ground, because peace talks is really taking what's currently happening on the battlefield, copy it, and paste it into a treaty. The last 2 or 3 months, the Syrian army has been advancing on all fronts. And honestly speaking, if it wasn't for the United States and Obama trafficked guns for the last few months, thousands of deaths would have been prevented and saved, and the Syrian conflict would have been over. Because, if it wasn't for all the aid and all the flux of mercenaries that coming in, no more Syrians are fighting. All the ones who are fighting against the government and against the people of Syria today are foreign mercenaries that are coming through the Jordan and the Turkish border with coordinating from the U.S. So since they have nothing left on the ground, they can't go to peace talks. What are they going to negotiate with? So what Obama is saying, and Kerry, indirectly, they can't tell the American people, we're going to arm these people because we feel they need to get stronger so we can eventually continue to have war in Syria. That is the whole idea. The balance of power they're talking about, Iran, had been used. It's an old Zionist trick. They used it in Iraq and Iran to kill and weaken each other off for many years, while the common enemy, Israel at the time, through the U.S., supplied both of them. If you remember the Iran-Contra, they were supplying both Iraq and Iran and keeping them at fighting while they're standing back and laughing. The same thing they're trying to do with Syria. The Syrian government and Syrian army is finally taking the lead and advancing, and it could end the war very simply. They want now to further arming the rebels. There's just not a decision to arm. They've been arming for 3 years. We've talked about that. So they continue to arm to maintain the balance. So the war never ends until either the country is completely in shambles or destroyed, with complete disregard to true human lives and true human suffering that's taking place today in Syria.
Well, Johnny, we have to wrap up, but as we know, and I think the best experience or testimonial to this strategy of talking peace and waging war in American Indians here in the United States of America or northern Mexico is outlined in terms of Spanish-speaking people. So this is a tried and true tactic used by the United States in terms of wars of aggression. But we thank you very much. And once again, we just heard from Johnny Achi from Arab Americans for Syria. Next, we'll move on with Dr. Gerald Horn on his recent uprisings in Brazil.